Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you, it's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you.
Hola, my name is Priscilla Oliveras, and you are joining Brown Book Series with Shay Baby. Vámonos, let's go.
Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Shay Baby from the Brown Book Series, and I had to go over to Puerto Rico to find her. She was over there living her best life on some island and all that stuff, and I was like, Priscilla, girl, quit playing. Come over here and holler at my people over at the Brown Book Series. And she was like, girl, I'm on my way. So she's down. Brown Book Series presents a novel experience with USA Today bestselling author Priscilla. I'm not going to mess up your last name.
Priscilla Oliveras.
When you say your name to men, do they just be like, oh?
I hope so.
I'm just saying. Oh, my last name, Oliveras.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, girl, I'm doing good. So how have you been, darling? You look wonderful.
Oh, thanks. We were just talking about this a little while ago. I have just actually come out of my writing cave. I'm turning in revisions for book 2. That's coming out next year. So I'm doing good. Just been writing and staying in. I teach, so I have like a live class that kind of started. So that was a little bit of a change, trying to go back to campus.
That's the what is it called? Is it Ed2Go or something? What's the name of it?
Well, I teach an online romance writing class for Ed2Go. That's a continuing education class, so anybody can take it wherever. Like last month, I had a student that was from New Zealand. So I've had students from all over. So I do teach that. It's kind of like the foundations of romance writing. And then for my local college here, I live in North Central Florida. I teach technical communication, so like business writing.
Now, Priscilla.
Yes.
We real honest at the Brown Book Series, right?
Yes.
And we just want to know, girl, like how romantic or how freaky you gotta be to be able to teach romance.
How do
you teach romance, girl?
Well, I think it's just no, I think to teach it really, like know the genre. I have my MFA, so that helps. I have my MFA in writing popular fiction from Seton Hill University.
Oh, good.
And so, and there my genre was romance, so that helps. I think teaching it or even writing it, it's really important to be a reader of the genre whether it's horror, sci-fi, YA, and any of those romance. You can't really know like what the readers are expecting, what readers like if you're not one as well. And then even like what you like as a reader, maybe what doesn't appeal to you as a reader, because then you're going to take that and feed that into your writing. So I think that's important.
Okay, so how you write is what how you like to read your books, like basically like that's what attracts you, and that's how you write.
I think so. Yeah, I mean, I'll read across the board, especially if I have a friend that has a book out, so I'll read it to be supportive. But I prefer, like, I write contemporary romance with Latinx characters, so I prefer reading contemporary romance. That doesn't mean when Sarah McLean has a Bare Knuckle Bastards book out, I'm reading that, right? Exactly. Or Vanessa Riley, when she's got a Regency, I'm reading that, kind of. So I will read across the board, but if I had one book, if I could only take one book with me on an island, more than likely it's going to be a contemporary romance, and then that's what I'm going to be writing when I'm stuck on that island.
So have you ever just read one of your friends' books and just been like, it sucks? Like,
oh,
you don't have to tell friends, but
yeah. No, I think I've read, I'm sure we've all read a book that like doesn't quite resonate with you. Right. Like in my MFA, when I was a student in my MFA program, it was so hard. Sometimes my homework was to read a romance novel. Bummer, right? But so there was a semester where of like the 7 books, there were 2 books that just did not appeal to me. And at first I was, it's easy to complain like, man, why do I got to read this book? I don't like it. But on the flip side, it was a good learning tool, because then you flip that and like, why did it not appeal to me? What would I as a writer have done differently? So how can I learn from that and yet there are going to be thousands of people who like that book. So it resonates. I think that's one of the things that I love about the romance genre is the spectrum, whether it's the heat level spectrum, whether it's all of the different genres, you know, even within subgenres, contemporary romance, there's going to be, you know, a hell of a lot of different kinds of contemporary romance. And so whatever your flavor is of the day, right? And we could, you know, tomorrow you might want to read something different and you will be able to find that in the romance genre.
So why did you, so romance has always appealed to you? So when you started out, you just like, I'm gonna be a romance writer and that's it.
Because I was a reader first. So I grew up like reading, like in high school, those
you was reading
High and Victoria Hall, you know, all those.
You was reading romance novels in high school?
I read my first Harlequin romance, so like real adult. I was 10th grade. We were living in Key West, and hence why the series. And my family, we were stuck in a hurricane shelter on the military base, so for multiple days. So by day 2, typical adolescent, I was climbing the walls. I was annoying my parents. I was complaining I was bored. And my dad, actually, my mom's a reader, but my dad is a huge romance reader. And as part of his hurricane supplies was a bag full of Harlequin Presents and Harlequin romances. And so like a variety of Harlequins. And he just said, Mira, Nana, take one of my books and read my book and get out of our hair. And a romance reader was born in that hurricane shelter in the Keys.
So when did you? I know, because so the reader was born. When was the author born?
I was actually I got married pretty young, a military spouse and full-time college student, and then I had our first daughter, and I had a surprise military move. So I was still going to school full-time while like mommying, but I had to take a semester off of school because the military moved us. And I missed like deadlines to apply. And so like that first semester that we were out in California, I had gone from full-time student and mom to mom. And I needed something to, just kind of like fulfill myself. Right. And I had, like a lot of people, I've always wanted to write a book. I'm just going to write one. So easy. Not easy, but that was the very first time I was actually 19. And so it took me, well, now I'm going to give away, but if you decide to do the math, but it took me 26 years from writing that first chapter 1 on my electric typewriter to when I signed my first contract with Kensington. So 26 years. Yeah, it was a while, but it was raising kids and getting multiple degrees and living life. And that was my path. That was my path.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Now, the publication, I asked all the authors this because it's so interesting that everyone has a different story, a different route. Yeah. You know, for one author, she was like, yo, it's rejection after rejection after rejection. Another author was like, hey, I was like, hey, let me pitch it to him, and bam, that was it. So how was it for you for your first book to be published? Like, how long did it take? Did you get rejection?
Okay. So, well, it took 26 years from that very first book, but I will say I wasn't banging out a book every year because I had 3 kids and then I got all of my degrees and stuff. But my first manuscript is actually that I sold. His Perfect Partner was my thesis manuscript for my MFA.
Wow.
And so it did go through the whole MFA process. Before that, kind of similar. I wrote some books that will never see the light of day because they're bad for a whole lot of reasons, right? But
okay, update them.
Yeah, I don't even know. Well, I'll tell you, that first book will never, unless I am able to regurgitate it, because that was typed on a typewriter. So it was pages. Lord knows where those pages are. Hopefully they're recycled somewhere. At least doing the environment well, they're recycled.
Right.
So it was a lot of similar thing. I was as far as like getting close and then not. My previous 3 manuscripts, before His Perfect Partner sold, were Romance Writers of America used to have a contest for unpublished called the Golden Heart. And so like my last 3 manuscripts had finaled and an editor requested it. And then they asked for revisions and then I would wind up getting well, it's not quite right. You have something else. So you were like, people would say, oh, you're so close to selling. And I'm like, yes, it's like horseshoes. You're so close, but you're not.
Right.
And I think the thing would be that part of our industry is rejection. It kind of sucks, but it's then like, what do you learn from that? And so write the next one and put the next one out there, learn from, get the feedback that you got from that rejection. Hopefully, you've gotten some good feedback on what didn't work. Right. And can you apply that to the next one to see if you, with His Perfect Partner, it was, I went through the MFA program at Seton Hill, and I found my agent right after that. And it had been a Golden Heart finalist, but not one. And I'm trying to think now. I think I had revised for a different editor, and then rewrote it all for the MFA. And I don't know if I got lucky or if it's a lot of, I think, landing with the right person who gets your book.
Just your time. Yeah.
I had a lot of rejections, but I'll say my books, all one thing, they have a lot of familia themes. Like in the Keys to Love series, you meet the Navarro familia, and the books are about the siblings. In the Match to Perfection series, it's the Fernandez sisters. They're all Puertorriqueñas. And when I signed with
Rosa.
Say that again?
I love Rosa.
Oh, she's so sweet. Yes, I love her. When I signed with Kensington, I got a letter in the mail from Stephen Zacharias, who is the president, or I might have like the wrong term, but he's the head honcho.
Right.
And the first line said, "Welcome to the Kensington family." And I felt like, okay, so it took me 26 freaking years and rejections and almosts and rejections, but this is where I was supposed to be at that time, with the right people. So like, your time comes. Is it your first one? Awesome. Is it your 10th one? Hey, kudos to you that you wrote 10 books,
Right.
So it's your, I guess that's just what I would say. It's your path, and it's your journey, and celebrate the small things, and get up and dust yourself off, and reach back to the person behind you, and reach up to the person in front of you, and that kind of thing.
Exactly. My father always told me, it's not how you start this race, it's how you finish it. So it don't matter.
Nice.
Long as I'm in the race, I'm good.
Yes. Amen.
Yes, amen. Speaking of races and books, so we have a few segments here in the Brown Book series. Mm-hmm. And one of the segments is called Name That Book.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let me get situated. No.
Well, we take a passage or a character or something related to one of your books.
Okay.
And you have to name that book.
Okay.
Why you seem nervous over there?
Well, because let me tell you, I slept 45 minutes last night, and I slept like 3 hours the previous 2 nights. So that's why I don't have an adult beverage right now, because I thought if I have some wine, I might fall asleep on her.
This is going to be fun. Well, you know what? I'll just drink for the both of us. How about that?
Oh, yes. Take a sip for me. Oh, what are you drinking?
I got your bag, girl. It's like a rosé, kind of.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I will have that afterwards, but seriously, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't want to fall asleep or get loopy. I'm being
You're good. Listen, I mix my rosé with alcohol. It's a mess. Anyway, you got to try it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm like, what do you put in there?
Yes, I have a Ciroc, pineapple Ciroc.
Nice.
Yes.
Wow. I like the way you adult beverage.
Yes, girl. That's how we do it, honey. Okay. So we're going to get started. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. All right. Name that book. This is going to be easy. You're going to get this. I'm telling you. You're going to get this. All right. Name that book. The second cup of coffee was the product of a night spent tossing and turning, unable to get a particular pesky situation out of his head.
This is Diego.
What's the name of the book?
Oh, sorry. Their Perfect Melody. Yes. Diego is one of my favorite.
Oh, he was one of mine too. I was like, y'all, I don't know if it's because he was a Chicago police officer or what. But
and the guitar when he sings to her, I want him to serenade me. I tell like, if someone asks me, who's your favorite character? I can't really pick. and a favorite of the heroines, because I feel like they're either my sisters or my younger sisters, right? I'm too close to them, and I love all the guys, but like I would totally set you up or anybody up on a date with Tomas or Jeremy. They are awesome, but Diego and Luis, I'm sorry, they're mine.
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. Okay, here's the next one. Name that book. Yasmin Fernandez.
Yasmin, she's my first heroine. She's going to be my special place. That is His Perfect Partner.
Yes, His Perfect Partner. So you're doing good at this, girl. Hey. All right. Here we go. Name that book. As luck would have it, the meeting was next week. If it could be considered lucky that she was in town for one of her best friend's funeral.
That is Resort to Love. And that is, oh my gosh, I was just going to say Julia, but Julia is Holiday Home Run. Sophia. Yes. Nate.
Yes. Look at
that
you.
Was really fun.
Okay, we got one more. If you don't, Priscilla, if you don't get this one, we're just gonna,
I'm in trouble.
We're just going to end our interview if you don't get this one, okay? Name that book. He shook his head. Nah, I don't have a feed. I'm not really into social media. Too much hype and oversharing.
Totally Luis. Island Affair.
Island Affair.
Yes.
Oh my God. So without giving us a spoiler, Luis can get it over and over again on any island with Paradise. All the islands he can get it on. Can you give us tell us a little bit about your new novel, Island Affair?
Sure. This is the cover. It's Island Affair. It is book 1 in the Keys to Love series. Book 2 is Anchored Hearts, and that's coming out next year. In Island Affair, I was really excited to write the Keys to Love series. I spent junior high and all my high school years in Key West, so I feel like I'm getting to take readers home with me.
I love Key West.
I know. It's so wonderful to go back as an adult. There's so much fun adult things to do there.
Yes.
And so in the Keys to Love series,
I just had a flashback of the hot tub from last week. Anyway,
that is a story.
Yes, girl. I'm going to give it to you so you can write it for me. I'm telling you.
Oh, there you go. Let's talk.
Definitely.
So in the Keys to Love series, you meet the Navarro familia. I would say that the series as a whole, like a lot of my books that have familia themes. So a lot of issues that are like that will happen in families. So when I kind of pitched it, I said it's kind of like the emotional ups and downs that you might find in This Is Us, but in Island Affair, the twist, kind of the romance trope is it's a fake relationship. So it's kind of like that rom-com movie Wedding Date. And in this book, you meet Sarah Vance, and she is a social media influencer, and she's kicking butt in that arena. But she is kind of like the black sheep in her family. Her parents and both of her older siblings, she's kind of the oops baby. They're all well-known doctors, surgeons and, pediatric surgeons and cardiothoracic. And so they don't quite take her career very seriously. She's also in recovery. She has OSFED, it's other specified feeding and eating disorder. So there is, I guess, a trigger warning. I would say one of the things that is discussed in the book is how Sarah is doing in recovery and what she does for herself, and taking care of herself.
But look that up. When I saw it, I was like, what does that mean?
Oh, well, OSFED, like she has some tendencies or some things that you would go with bulimic, but also some that anorexic. So it's a little bit harder to diagnose because they have a variety of symptoms or behaviors. And so it's not just like one, like, oh, she's not bulimic because she's not doing this. No, but she has tendencies of that, and she has tendencies of these, and how she copes with it until she gets in treatment. And all of that is backstory. So from the beginning, Sarah is in recovery, but she does talk about, I listened to a lot of podcasts and did a lot of research for those who are dealing with the disease, but also loved ones of those, so that I could try to also learn about how her family would right or wrong. What are some things that they are doing to help, but maybe also some things that are creating conflicts for her as a character. So Sarah lands in Key West for a week-long vacation with her judgmental family. And as soon as she arrives, she gets a phone call, and the guy that she's been dating she was thinking he needs to go, but doesn't want to show up like as a single person, and her perfect siblings and their perfect spouses are all there. So she gets there, she's at the airport, and right away her boyfriend calls, and he's just decided to no-show.
Right.
So the last thing she wants to do is show up at their rental home having been dumped, and in walks Luis. Luis Navarro, firefighter, paramedic, and he's dealing, obviously, because it's a romance, so there's got to be conflict. So he's dealing with some issues in his past and in his life, or he's rather not dealing with them. So they've created some things. And so his fire captain has just said, look, you've got this time. You need the next week. I don't want to see you here. Like, get your head on straight, because something's going on. So he's got 7 days to kill, and he doesn't want to have 7 days to kill. And he runs into this good-looking girl who is smart and savvy and fun, and she's looking for someone to pretend to be her boyfriend for 7 days so she can pull a fast one on her family. And Luis agrees to be that fake boyfriend. So it's like a one-bed vacationing in Key West, and Luis, the Navarro familia, Mami Navarro, is a Cuban mom who has a radar. She can smell when something's up. And so they're on a small island. It's inevitable that Mami Navarro is going to find out who is this blonde that, her beloved Luis has been hanging out with. And so it's a lot of family escapades and what happens, and a lot of shenanigans on the beach.
I love it. Oh my God. I'm telling you, when I read it, I was like, at first, okay, her family was very judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were going to be a little, I thought it was going to be a little harder on her.
Okay.
They was judgmental, but they wasn't so to where you were like, that,
Yes.
Yeah, because I'm really interested in, like, okay, what the other siblings, who they're going to fall in love with, what they're going to do. It didn't turn me off, if that's what I think that's what I'm looking for. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, it didn't turn me off. Yeah, that brought, so, because at first, honey, I thought the mama was going to be, really a trip. But I was like, okay.
Sarah's mom?
Yeah.
Or Luis's mom, yeah.
No, I thought Sarah's mom was going to be like, really, I don't want to say a bitch.
Right.
But
I worried, I started with her sister, and then I worried I didn't want people to hate her. So I pulled back some, or there were some times that I wrote and I thought, okay, I just need to write it and my editor will tell me if it, we don't want, or sometimes you do need to, but really what I wanted to show in the book is, like, Luis has an issue with his younger brother. She's having some issues, and part of her OSFED and why she, turned to that was not connecting and feeling like the outsider in her family. And so I really wanted to try to talk about how, with the different family dynamics and how we affect each other in our family, but yet how you can try to reach out to connect, to help each other. Because to me, that's the beauty of the romance novel. It's not that Luis fixes her or she doesn't fix him, right? Right. They help each other to grow, but separately. And so they enhance the good things about each other. Sometimes they enhance the things that are annoying, but that's like to help them grow.
Right.
But the beauty of the romance novel to me is showing how, like, crap happens in life, and when you surround yourself with healthy relationships, your family, your partner, then you can get through that crap, because more crap's going to come, right? They get their ATA, but stuff is going to happen afterwards, right? But if you're with the right people, and then you're going to get through it.
Exactly, and I appreciate that story. I'm telling you, because when I was reading, I was like, I'm just gonna be honest. I was like, I don't want to see the other sisters. I hope none of that. But once I started reading, I was like, oh, okay, no. So now I'm interested. I'm like, okay, so who's next? What's up?
Okay.
Yeah, you did good, girl. You did good.
Thank you.
That brings us to another segment in the Brown Book series called You're gonna kill me for this one.
I'm gonna be like, let me get some wine. No, I'm kidding you.
Yeah, definitely. I'm telling you, you need this Ciroc girl. Called Who'd You Rather?
Oh, okay. This will be fun.
It's gonna be fun. So, of course, we're gonna just pit the heroes against each other, and you let us know who'd you rather and why.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Oh, these are good games.
Yes, girl. Okay. First one. Who'd you rather? Ben Thomas or Tobias?
Okay, let me tell you, I love baseball is my favorite sport. So Ben,
I saw that, but football is your favorite sport too.
Oh, is it? Oh no, football. I love football. If I could only watch one, I'd watch baseball all day.
Okay,
so like the perfect afternoon for me is a sunny day, sitting in the bleacher seats at Wrigley Field, with the beer or whatever, like a cold adult beverage. Obviously, I want my Cubs to win and fly the W. But that's a nice afternoon for me. Is a sunny day at Wrigley.
Oh, that's
so great. Ben is from Holiday Home Run. Yes. That is a Christmas novella. And I will tell you, I can't reveal it yet because we're finalizing the cover, but that novella was in the Fern Michaels anthology a few years ago. And this October, Kensington is going to release it digital, but as a standalone. So if you didn't get it, or you would just like that one, it's so I was just giving like some feedback on covers, and the cover looks super cute. So as soon as we can reveal it, we will. But you will be able to get Ben and Julia, who named after my abuela. You'll be able to get their book and just theirs alone. It's called Holiday Home Run. So Ben, because Ben is a former Chicago Cubs pitcher, but Tomas is my first hero from His Perfect Partner, and he can dance, and that's a big one for me. Ay, Dios mío, this is hard.
So he can dance. That means he got the moves.
Yeah, I'm going with Tomas.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, Ben. It's a wrap for you.
I know.
Okay. Who'd you rather? Jeremy Taylor or Nathan Patrick Hamilton?
Yes. Nate is from Resort to Love, and Jeremy is Rosa's Jeremy and Her Perfect Affair.
Yes.
Nate does grovel well. Jeremy is such a stand-up guy, and he lives in an awesome. Boy, I had fun house hunting. That's one of my favorite things, house hunting. So for Jeremy and Ben, I found like the perfect house in Wrigleyville that like an MLB pitcher could afford. I could never afford it. I'm going with Jeremy.
You know, Jeremy. Yeah. I like Jeremy and Nathan because I felt like they both had, I don't want to say the same story, but they had the whole try to live up to their families. Yes, family's name and the whole family thing. And I was like, oh, I love bond.
They could bond.
Yeah. They could bond. I don't know. You might have to do them together, Priscilla.
Hey, okay. Now you're talking.
I just want to watch. I'm just okay. Last one. Who'd you rather? I already know who you rather on this, but we're gonna see.
Okay. Oh my gosh! These are my two favorite. I'm totally taking these two together. We're going. Bye.
I said, oh, she's going to die.
Yes. As I say all the time, I had a hard time. I love I'm writing Alejandro right now on Ana Maria's. And I love when I want him to be happy. But I would say, go be happy, Luis, come on. Right? If I was in this story world so far. Right. So both of these, and they're different. Luis is that strong, silent, he's got Superman syndrome, like he just wants to save you, and that's one of the things Sarah, tells him at one point. Yes. And Diego, one of my favorite scenes is when he takes Lily home because something has just happened, and so he takes her home like to have dinner, and when he gives her that when he sings the song, and it's just when he plays for her. That's
Mm.
oh man, yeah.
Which one, Priscilla?
Which one? Ay, Dios mío. And Luis is a good dancer. He is such a good dancer. Yes. Ay, Dios mío. Vamos a ver. Okay, I'll probably. Girl, you're killing me. Okay. I'll take Luis.
You go, okay.
I'm already having FOMO.
Okay. So you go take Luis. Okay. I think I want to take Diego.
Oh no! I'll arm wrestle you.
I think I'm gonna take Diego.
I cannot arm wrestle. I have like nothing.
Listen, you send me pictures and I'll send you pictures. How about that?
Okay, there you go. Yes.
What's good like that? All right. There's something else we do here at the Brown Book series. See? We have plenty of fun. Fun and fun.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yes. Okay. So we asked a couple of questions. It's called Author's Reveal.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. We're going to ask you like 5 random questions, and you have to maybe from different moments of your life. You have to give us the honest answer.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing too. Yeah, nothing.
Excuse me.
Like I'm not going to ask you like your favorite position or anything like that. I mean, unless you want to tell us. I was just saying. But
I do. I'm closed door. My books are closed door, so I would have to tell you. Sorry, closed door.
I love it. Put my glasses on. I'm gonna have to get this for real. I gotta see this. Make sure I see what Priscilla is about to say here, honey. God, these braids does not make it hard. These don't make it easy.
I like them. I love your earrings. I was noticing that. I meant to tell you at the beginning. I like those.
Girl, yes, my friend from Gorgeous Concept, honey. She gets them. Yeah, she is my earring queen. She's like, oh, you're gonna need this. You need to wear that. I'm like, nice, no problem, girl.
Gorgeous Concept.
Yes, Gorgeous Concept. I'll send you the information.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Author's Reveal. First question. What's the best compliment you've ever received?
I will say writing wise, if we want to stay in that
in life, in period. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm stumped. So I'll say the first one that came to mind because I think maybe because I saw my book there is writing wise. And one of the things that I love is one of the reasons why I write Latinx romance is when a reader comes and they either email me or in person and says how much they enjoyed seeing either themselves or like their familia on the pages of the book, because we don't see that enough. Diversity across the board, so to me that's important. And when I hear that, it's one of the reasons why I want to write about my culture, is so that we can see more of those. So that when I hear that from a reader, that which maybe it's not even a compliment, but that touches me because that's why it's important to me why I write. But I guess just a compliment that is. When I've helped somebody, and that's important to me, trying to do my best to like be a good person. So I guess if someone has complimented me about that, that is nice to me, or I appreciate that, I guess. I don't know, but because it's important to me to try to be helping others.
Okay. Look at you all helpful and things. Yes, girl. Because I love that you, honey. Yes, I love that you write about your culture. You can write about Diego all the time. Okay?
Yes.
Just write just a whole series just about him.
Diego and Lily.
Yeah. Lily
can stay home.
Lily can stay home. It could be like Diego on Monday. Okay, Book 1. Book 2, Diego on Tuesday.
I like the way you think.
Literally though, his stories and stuff and everything, like him and on the side note, him and Lily, everything they went through, that can be like a really like a movie series. Like I was like, yo, I can actually picture this.
Right. Yeah. Like their jobs. I love what they do. Yeah. Like Lily is a victims advocate in Chicago in the Humboldt Park area, which is a heavy Latino area, and Diego is Chicago PD and born and raised in Humboldt Park area. And so, I love that. I did. I love that book and those characters. Honestly, one of my favorite scenes was when they take a group of kids from the youth center, and they go to a Cubs game. That was fun to write. Their first kind of date. Their first date was at the Cubby Bear.
Yes.
I totally want to go to the Cubby Bear with Diego. Yes, I will.
I know. Me too. I said, look at her. She gonna put these Cubs in here some way. Okay. Author's review. Of all your characters, whose relationship inspires you?
Wow.
I got deep just then, huh?
Yeah. That is their relationship. Gosh, I will say, like, when people ask me, are any of the characters like you or anything like that? I said, I don't. In all of the characters, especially the female characters, there's something that either I wish I had, or that aspire to be, that I can like live vicariously through them.
Right.
But my hope is that all of the relationships, because they're so, if I've done my job anyway, right? The characters are so unique, and they're the right people for each other, right? Like Yasmin and Luis might not go, right? Because they're not the right people for each other. Right. Sarah is the yin to Luis's yang, and I would say the same thing. Tomas is that for Yasmin, and so I don't know if they have. I mean, I like to think of them as that they have their perfect relationship for who they are. I love Key West, so I would say, well, I want their relationship because I want to live in Key West, right? Right. That's not at the same time. Like I said, I love Chicago. I would love to live in Chicago during baseball season, not during the winter, but during baseball season. Damn, this is a good question.
I know, girl.
So who the relationship that inspires you? Mm-hmm. If I have to just say one real fast. Okay, I'll say Luis and Sarah, because they have both experienced like him tragedy. Her OSFED is a really, but yet they help each other to find the right way for them on their own to overcome or to get past what they need to be healthier people.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right.
But darn. I not all night I'm going to be like, man, maybe I should have said Jeremy and Rosa. I love that Rosa tells Jeremy, no, I'm not going to marry you, because nobody expected that at the beginning.
Look, if you wake up and say, I want to change my answer, we'll do a part 2.
Okay.
All right. Author's reveal. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
The worst piece of advice?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is a silly one, but when we moved, I lived in the St. Louis area for like 8 years, and someone there told, and someone said, well, now that you're here, you should switch from being a Cubs fan to a Cardinals fan, because you're in a Cardinal. And the first thing I was like, look, my abuela will come out of the grave and smack me silly if I switch to the Cardinals. So no gracias, eso no va a pasar. So that was like the stupidest piece of advice that somebody ever gave me.
That was an insult. That was
yes.
Advice.
Yes. So I'll say great advice. My sister's really good at positivity and picking you up. And so if I had to pick like one person, or my parents are, but my sister, like the other morning, I was deadlining for revisions, and she sends me like this giraffe video, but it's her voice talking through the giraffe, right? And it's like, you got this, girl. You know, a minute of like all like pepping you up. You can do it, rock star. And so
yes, sisters are the best.
Yes, so she's really good at giving good advice, and pep you up advice. Okay,
all right. I'll just reveal. What is the last book that you couldn't put down?
Oh, you had me at Hola. Have you? That's oh man, I should have brought it here. It's on. My mom wanted to read it, but it's Alexis Daria's You Had Me at Hola. It just came out. It's another Latinx rom. It's an August release, and this is a really good. It's almost like a romance within a romance, because the two leads, one is a soap opera star, and the other one is a telenovela actor who was just killed off his show. And so he's trying to, like branch out, and they are both cast as the love interests for this new streaming TV show that it's You Had Me at Hola by Alexis Daria, Daria.
Oh, I need to reach out to her, honey. Why
Yeah, you totally did.
Doing it hard. Call her.
So in the book, the hero and hero, obviously, because it's a romance, are going to have their romance, but she has scenes like from the show that they're filming is called Carmen in Charge. So you see the characters and on the TV show Carmen in Charge also falling in love, and so it's kind of like a romance within a romance. And the two leads, when they first meet, they don't really connect, and they got to be like falling in love. And so she's got like I'm gonna mess up, but like some kind of therapist or somebody like on the scene that helps them, because you can't like, well, let's just practice kissing until it's comfortable, right? That's not what you do. So she did some great research, but it's a good book, and obviously it's another Latinx rom representation, so that's important to me. But that's a fabulous one.
Okay, I'm going to get that today. I'm going to download that book today. Yes. Okay, then. All right, last one. Author's Reveal. What's one thing you're deeply proud of, but you would never put on your resume?
Oh my God. That I would never put on my resume? Mm-hmm. It's we make some pretty cool gingerbread. Sometimes they're houses, sometimes they're monuments. We've made the Eiffel Tower, we've made the Leaning, we've made the Roman Colosseum. We started out when my girls were younger, and they were just like a little hut, like a gingerbread house, and then they would each want to make their own. So one year we made a village, and there was my first daughter made like a mansion, and it was the mayor's house, and then another one made the dance studio, and so we made it 2 stories, and we left off one wall so you could look inside, and we had foil that was a mirror, and like there was a ballet bar. We've made Wrigley Field. One year we made Wrigley Field, and we made one of the rooftop bars outside.
Oh my God!
Inside Wrigley Field. I bought mini gummy bears, so those were the Cubs fans, and we got mini M&Ms, and those were the other fans. So at Christmas we do gingerbread like creations, and I've never like entered a contest or anything like that. You'll find little errors because we're not pros. That's something I would love to do, is like take a gingerbread making class, or like shadow
that would be
like a professional to learn, because I saw a video years ago, and now we just look online and we just like improvise and like, well, let's try this. But it's fun. It's something, even my girls are adults, and when they come home for the holidays, my youngest especially, okay, this is what we're going to make this year. And so it's a familia tradition.
All right. I absolutely love it. Well, Priscilla, this brings us to the last of our interview.
Ooh, okay.
Before I ask you this last question, I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us.
It's been lots of fun. Yeah, it's a great show. Thank you so much.
Thanks, girl. It's only great because of people like you,
You set the tone. Seriously. You set the tone. It's good. Thank you.
Thank you. This is awesome. Okay. Well, before I ask the last question, so tell everybody where they can all your social media handles, where they can contact you, and they can go get this book, honey, because this is a great read, honey.
Thank you. There are like a million ways that you could spell Priscilla wrong. So all of my social media and my website is Pris, P-R-I-S, Oliveras. And so that's Oliver and then A-S. So you can find me on Instagram, on Twitter at Pris Oliveras. On Facebook, I have not a group, but I have a Facebook page that is Pris Oliveras. But you can also, I am in 2 author reader groups on Facebook, hanging out. And so Racy Reads Party Room, there are about 30 authors there, and people are chatting and talking, and lots of giveaways and lots of news. And then also 4 Chicas Chat is a Facebook group. There are 4 of us, that Latinx rom authors, and so Alexis is one. It's Mia Sosa and Sabrina Soul and Alexis and me.
I got Mia coming up.
Oh, you do! Yay! Oh yeah, so Mia, we all kind of formed a group. So it's called 4, like so the number 4 Chicas Chat, and we're all Latinx rom authors, but we talk about that. But we also talk about movies and film and all kinds of stuff. So you can find me hanging out over there. And then my website is prisoliveras.com. There's my event calendar. You can sign up for, I do like once a month, I'll send out like a news and notes that'll maybe have, if there's a contest or a book sale, or if I have a friend that has a book out, something like that. So you can sign up for the news and notes email and kind of like stay in the know on my website.
I love it. I love it. Everybody go and pick this book up. Yay. You're going to love it. Okay, Priscilla, last question.
Okay, shoot.
If you were writing a book about your life, what would the title be?
Oh, man. There are a lot of times it would be like Latino time, because I try really hard to be on time, but inevitably no, unless it's like a Broadway show that I know they're starting or something like this, right? But in general, I'm one of those people, if I'm like running to the store or heading out, I'm like, oh wait, let me like move the laundry over, or oh wait, I try to do that one more thing, and then I'm like 5 minutes late, and I'm like, probably like running on Latino time. That might be the story.
Okay, I absolutely love it. Well, listen, Brown Book Series, appreciate you. Thank you again. We absolutely love you. Thank you for coming on. I just love it. I just love you.
I had a great time. It was lots of fun. So I really appreciate you inviting me.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hey y'all. Hey, if you liked that video, hey, it's more where that come from. Subscribe. That's all you got to do. Subscribe to the Brown Book YouTube channels for more interviews with your favorite romance authors. We have so many coming up that, believe me, you do not want to miss it. All right? Subscribe. And also go check out our website, brownbookseries.com. That's it. www.brownbookseries.com.
Open up your brown book, baby. It's for you. It's for us. The fantasies, no one can judge us, no one can judge us. This is for us. Open up your brown book, babe.